Hey YouTube, video number 3 of my most influential records. This is a really bizarre one. I used to put this on when I folk come around, and it's one of those things that if in the first 10 seconds you'll laugh and think it's the best thing in the world ever, you'll absolutely love it. If you just think it's silly, it's like a total Marmite thing, you'll absolutely love it or absolutely hate it. I absolutely love it. This is Caravan in the Land of Grey and Pink, which is one of those records that it's a gatefold, so it's got the whole. I mean, I think a lot of people will just have bought that for the cover. Isn't it absolutely stunning? But it's one of those records that, see, the album, it sounds like this cover looks. It's like everything about it. It's like you can just imagine it being this mad castle and in the Land of Grey and Pink, the wee boat, the wee guy sitting leaning against a tree somewhere. I'm sure that wee guy sleeping in the tree. Yeah, it's stunning. Caravan were a sort of a prog rock band. This is from 1970. It must say on it somewhere 1971, 2011. Yeah, okay. So this is the reissue. I bought this because in fact it's at number 347 out of 500 because it came out as a double album. So the second disc is like it's got a couple of extra songs and it's got different mixes of it. The original one was did have this picture on the inside and the gatefold, but the main reason I bought it is because it's on grey and pink vinyl. It's like for what was already one of my favourite albums of all time, I had to buy I think I actually bought it directly from Caravan. It wasn't expensive, but this thing is absolutely nuts. It starts off with Golf Girl. It starts off with like is it a trumpet or a tuba or something going ba 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 ba, and it's just so insanely silly. It's amazing. The bass player Richard Sinclair wrote most of these songs, and he's an absolute lunatic. It's a bit very English. I'm not particularly pro. I'm not anti-English. I'm anti-Westminster government, not anti-English. It's a very English sounding album, but it's absolutely stunning. So you get Golf Girl, which is, I think it was a sort of single. They still play that live. Winter Wine, Love to Love You. That's the one song. I used to be in a band, a sort of heavy metal version of Caravan called The Blind Dog, because they've got an album called The Blind Dog at St Dunstan, so we call ourselves The Blind Dog because we're Scottish. And we did pretty much this whole album. Well, there's only 5 songs on it, so we did 4 of them. The one we didn't do was Love to Love You, which is the one that's written by Pi Hastings, who's the main guy in Caravan. It's a bit actually nowadays I pure love it. So you've got Winter Wine, which is, it's just an epic. It's got the best keyboards like of anything ever, the most floaty keyboard solos you've ever heard. And then the actual song in the Land of Grey and Pink is just, I don't know if I've ever heard another song that's got in it, but it's just absolutely nuts, all about sailing across seas it's a total trip in an album. If you've never heard this, it's just buy it. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. And then the second side is just one song. How prog is that? 9 Feet Underground, which is just an epic of just it again, all these songs, just if you just picture this up, if you imagine how good this could, how the best you could possibly have an album that looked like this to sound like that cover, it totally does the trick. So Richard Sinclair, the bass player and the singer for most of it, Pi Hastings, David Sinclair, keyboard player, Richard Coughlin, drummer, Jimmy Hastings, who's Pi's brother, he's like a classically trained or a jazz saxophonist, flutes, that sort of thing. So it's got amazing flute and saxophone and all these things in it. And David Grinstead, I think he must just be the producer, plays cannon, bell and wind. I've actually got I bought the 5.1 surround sound version of this on, I don't know if it was Super Audio CD or DVD audio or whatever it was, but it was absolutely mental as well. It was like whoever it was that remixed the second record, which wasn't a part of the original album, it's got like a couple of extra songs on it, and it's also got a completely remixed version of 9 Feet Underground, and it's like it's got the wind and the cannon and stuff, and it's like it's like whoever it was, I think it might actually be, we're right thinking it's somebody from Porcupine Tree, the band, something like that. It's a total experience, even more so listening to it now, because you just get the centre speakers, just the trumpet at the start of Golf Girl, so it's just ba 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 ba. Absolutely nuts, mental album. I totally recommend everyone should just, it's like, I mean, I don't know why it wasn't big enough. I think there might have been record company problems or management problems or something like that. But I mean, they do have other albums, and some of them are pretty good. But this one really is just this should be in the top 10 albums. Well, as it's in my top 10 albums, so that should be good enough for anybody. So look up Caravan in the Land of Grey and Pink. I'll be honest, if you don't like the first 20 seconds, if you just makes you puke, you probably won't like all of it. But if when you feel, which like me and many people do, you hear the first 10 seconds and you go, what the hell is that? I want to hear more of it. Is the rest of the album like that? Gimme. In the Land of Grey and Pink. Rock and roll. So that's video number 3. I'm just going to keep going, sod it. So video number 4 coming up 2 seconds. Well, it'll be tomorrow, probably, because I'll do these a day apart. Or maybe put them on at 6 o'clock at night or something. Rock and roll.